It's an old one. It's been around for a while. Not sure if you've cracked this one, but who isn't like just trying to become masterful at recreating the hiking trail to get us to where we need to go? It's kind of a big deal, isn't it? And the real deal is there really isn't a map anymore. Remember when people used to like sit in the lecture halls and tell you after you paid tuition to tell you what the map looks like to be successful in the work? Yeah, those days are gone. you, you, boss, now are the map maker. Good to be back with you today. I like these afternoon exchanges. I hope that this actually finds you just in a place where maybe all your creativity and innovation has just been juiced entirely, and you're nothing but an empty vessel that is just looking to be filled. If that's a role that I can play today, yeah, and we're only going to spend just a few minutes here today, but I need to ask you something, maybe uncomfortable right now. And it has something to do with that innovation thing. I need to ask, when's the last time that you actually had a thought that was actually yours? Right? I'll let you sit with that. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to think about when you actually had a thought that was actually your thought, not a response to somebody's email, right? Not a reaction to the crisis of the morning. And you've already had two or three today. So salute you today, boss. But a real thought, the kind where something new gets made, right? And you're welcome to feel a little bit uncomfortable to that question, because every superintendent, every college president that I work with goes pretty quiet when I ask about anything related to their innovative thinking. Yeah, because somewhere along the way, it's your calendar, right? It's the calendar quietly, just systematically donated your most valuable, just those neurological hours that you have when you pop out of bed in the morning, but it donates it to the institution that didn't ask for them and doesn't know what to do with them. And it's not a time management problem. It's really more of a cognitive infrastructural problem. And today, I just want to unpack this a little bit because I'm also wrestling with this reality of what do you do with your most protected time when you are really just at your maximized peak. Yeah. So here's the pattern. I see it everywhere. I work from, K-12 soups to university president. You check email first, right when you pop out of bed, because you're looking for, is there a crisis that happened just recently? Or you walk into the meeting and you have the crisis that commences at 10 a.m. And by 2 p.m., you're making decisions that just affect thousands of students on a brain running on what you got right now. It's kind of that institutional habit and leftover cortisol, which is the bad chemical stuff. It's not the hug and love drug. No, it's the other stuff that just takes us out. And about 73% of the respondents in our recent panel survey, teams across the nation, operate at about 60% of their actual capacity, which I'll let you do the math there. All right. And it's not because the people are the wrong people. You've got the right people. Can we just be honest about that? You've got the right people. It's because the structure is wrong. The architecture is wrong. Let's talk about a superintendent. I'll call her Elena today. It's not a real name, but Elena, you know who you are. And she told me last fall, I can't remember the last time I had a thought that was actually just originally mine. And she wasn't burned out. She was just architecturally depleted. Her calendar, just like yours, had just consumed every peak cognitive hour that she had. And her cabinet felt it before she did. Her questions had gotten smaller. Meetings felt like more reporting sessions. Anybody relate? And the institution was just executing, but it wasn't generating anything. There were no new maps being built. And that's not Elena's failure. It's a system problem, right? The system is the villain, and the system is fixable. You know that. I know that. Here's a framework. I want to just give you 3 things to chew on, maybe on your drive home tonight. I'll call it the creative capital framework. You got to get them all. You miss one, and your development investment is just going to run on a broken circuit. So, first one, just the neurological window. When is your most creative time, boss? Your best thinking. Your best thinking actually happens in a specific morning block. Most of you, there's a few exceptions out there. Yes, um, the research is accurate there, but majority have 3, maybe 4 hours that is neurologically consistent to the morning hours being the highest performing time for creativity and ingenuity. Um, Not sometimes, it's like all the time. Uh, because of this, I know one superintendent. I'd love to hear more. If you're out there, go ahead and say that's me. Put it in the comment. But this is a superintendent, K-12 superintendent. Takes 0 meetings before noon. None. Non-negotiable. Yeah, because those are the 3 hours that determine the quality of every decision in all of the other 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hours during the day, right? So your neurological window, how are you optimizing your morning time? And I'm not talking your 4:30 to 6:30 before you hop in the car time, boss. I'm talking about your work time. Yeah. The second one is just this default mode network, okay, where there's no input. Um, no input, none. No podcast, no scrolling. And this is the one that I'm working on. If we're going to be really honest, you and me, yeah. Because when I'm doing my thing, if I'm running or biking or working out, yeah, I am filling my brain. If I'm driving from point A to B, I'm filling the brain. It's my mobile library. Um, but there is um, a specific set of brain structures that activates and generates your best ideas um, during the unexpected connection time. Okay, think of it as the why questions, right? Sometimes you're just like wondering, not what and how, it's the why questions. People get their best ideas in the shower. Okay, so bathe regularly. The good news is, I don't think you can bring this thing in the shower. That's the hack, isn't it? That's the hack. Because the phone isn't in there. That's not a metaphor. It's a cognitive architecture just being deliberately dismantled every time you just fill that quiet time. So shower times, but I would also, and you can join me, and I hope that you have a regular workout routine because, boss, if you are the boss, you need to be the healthiest person in the room all the time. That's my challenge to you, right? Not the smartest, the healthiest. Yeah. So find those places and unplug and just kind of listen. Yeah. And then the third one, it's that right hemisphere gap. So your left brain handles the how and the what that we just talked about. Your right brain, that handles the why. And most cabinet meetings are structurally left hemispheric. Um, Very important, but not sufficient. Yeah, the why conversations require really unhurried space that your calendar kind of engineers out on a regular basis, right? And here's where it gets really powerful. You got to protect that window. Um, so activate the default mode network and create space for the right hemisphere questions. You're not going to get just incremental improvements. You're going to get multiplication. So that's your smarts, your IQ, it's your connectivity, your ability to relate and communicate well, but also your perceptive, understanding what's going on in a world and spaces where most people can't really see. Yeah, that's team intelligence, right? That is what we're talking about in the TQ Advantage that we have moving forward. So that's really, and if that architecture If you're not building that, here's what's going to keep happening. You're going to manage brilliantly. And maybe that keeps your job and your preferred parking spot, boss. But you're not generating anything new. Your institution gets execution without transformation, right? Your webpage says transformation, but when's the last time you actually saw things besides just furniture getting moved around the organization? Yeah, they need you and your lead crew to be brilliant and not just busy. Yeah. Your cabinet gets the reactive version of you, probably not the generative one. So, but here's a possibility. Imagine your next cabinet meeting when you've had 3 hours to actually think first. And the questions you bring, uh, they're they're different and they're contextualized to the people in the room. The silence you can hold is different, right? And the transformation your team is capable of, it's just different. You build different. We don't need any more leaders, folks. We need more leaders that can build different. We don't need any more busy leaders, folks, because exhaustion is no longer a badge of honor. All right, fragmented systems are built by exhausted leaders, um, and isolated leaders. All of those things that are leading to burnout today. Um, but what if it were different? Where we said we don't need any more of those kind of leaders. We need more of the right kind. Yeah, that's not a fantasy. That's what our nearly 1,000 respondents said in our research, and it's what they built when they stopped treating cognitive infrastructure as optional. So you tell your calendar what it must do for you, not the other way around. So builders don't wait for the calendar to give them permission. So I challenge you. I want to assume that all of you are builders, but I'll be honest. I spent many years as a climber. Okay. But climbers are not builders. Climbers got to stick around long enough to see the transformation actually establish. Startups aren't good enough. Okay. We need some of the can we say sexy here? Oh, not sure. But some of the non sexy establishment policy, right? Contract, uh, all the stuff that just takes the good initiatives and makes them leader proof. Yeah. Builders don't wait for the calendar to give them permission. They protect the conditions where the original thinking can happen so the institution can move forward. You think about the average superintendent, the average president probably influences 50 leaders, right? 1,000 faculty, 1,000 teachers, maybe 20,000 students. When you protect your window, you multiply that impact across the entire system. So the question isn't whether you can, the question is whether you will. So here's your move. I'm going to say right now, tonight, do a window audit. Don't wait until next week because then you won't do it. Do a window audit. What time tomorrow? Look at your calendar. Like you had the old Franklin Covey planner. Come on. Look at look at your calendar, right? When's your first meeting tomorrow? Look at your next 5 mornings. How many of them start with somebody else's agenda before your own thinking has had room to happen? Then do one thing. Just book one morning. You can try it this week, but you might have to splash it over into next because most likely this week is already booked with other people's agendas. But block one morning meeting, 3 hours, no meetings, no email, and label it the work only I can do. And have your admin just like hunker down and protect that. So 3 steps, 15 minutes, zero, zilch, nada, no excuses. If you want to go deeper to build the full architecture for your team, you can go to higherperformancegroup.com and click Get Started. You can look at the Burnout Keynote, the TQ Advantage Leadership Workshop, the Team Institute, which is like the next level for your team. That's where the work gets really real, right? And it's not for everybody. I bump into leaders that kind of are learned and are trying to do the people development. But it's really just the next book study. It's just something that I grabbed off the reel, and yeah, it's not deep enough. If your work is not building the I'm going to just call it the capacity, right? But that capacity has to be girded, if you will, in it's the other C word. Come on, Joe. It's got to come to me. Yeah, it's those requirements for you to be a leader, like building trust, like empowering your people. Um, there it is. It just came to me, folks. Did you see it? Mm, competencies. That's the word that I was like reaching for. Competencies. If your work is not built around leader competencies, then it's just going to drift, and it's going to be timely, but probably not timeless to do the job of transformation. If you want to know more about some of the timeless work of building true leader competencies, where you evaluate your leaders around building trust, empowering others, building collaborative environment, broadening influence, managing change, managing conflict, developing others. Those are the things that you need of your leaders. Yes, you need skill-based work as well, but this is the stuff that literally builds the type of culture that you're looking for. I just did some interesting research. If you are a leader within a system, what's keeping you there? And almost 67% of the people that responded said outstanding leadership. Yeah, because we have a lot of the other kind, just leadership. Now, if you have a problem with some of your best talent sneaking out the back door, we should talk, because your people deserve, your community deserves um, outstanding leadership. And that oftentimes is not brought in by a resume. You got to cook it up yourself. So if you want to prove in practice, we should talk. We'll talk next week about your cabinet is brilliant individually, but mediocre collectively. Yeah, we're going to be canceling some average next week. So happy mid-April already. Wowzer. Lots of baseball being played, cold baseball where I'm at. But hope you're doing well. Hope your Dukes are up. You're staying healthy. I had a sick day yesterday, so I'm just getting back into the game. But know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and yeah, you matter.